Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Poorly Animated Arsenal podcast. I'm Jacob. I'm Poorly Drawn Arsenal. And with me, as always, is Hunter. Say hi, Hunter.
Hi, Hunter.
Fantastic. Hunter, we are recording this kind of after Arsenal 2, Wolves 1. I say kind of because we're doing it a little bit later than we normally do it, because I was with my brother, and then I attempted to go to the post office unsuccessfully, and here we are.
Unsuccessfully.
Turns out they close at noon. And if I had done any kind of research, I foolishly thought that government services would be open at normal times. So, yeah, no, it didn't happen. But I'm here now. Yeah, so let's get into our general vibes before the match, and then we'll attempt to work our way through this match. I took no notes, and if I don't talk about something that immediately happens, I forget about it. So we're going to see how this goes. How were you feeling before the match, Hunter?
Pretty good. Little surprised to see Havertz out for Trossard again, since he had kind of been building some momentum lately. And slightly worried that the refs. I know we don't like to be talking about referees, but Wolves have been absolutely screwed by refs this year.
Yes.
And I, slightly worried that the refs would give them a my bad game.
I was worried about that, but then I was also worried about. I think you could probably argue that we've maybe had some calls not go our way. So if VAR were to get in a situation where the call could either go towards Arsenal or towards Wolves, what would happen in that situation?
What if it exploded?
Just the entire VAR system across the entire country just blew up.
Yeah, it overloaded.
I actually don't. Is there a. Do they have like a. There's a place, right? Like a VAR hub where they
I
do
think
things?
so.
That sounds right.
Are you looking it up?
No, I was just staring at my keyboard. I will look it up.
Is it
VAR
Stockley Park?
hub. I want to say it's like St. Where is the VAR hub? It is in West London. That is at a business estate. Is that as descriptive as you get? Nope, Stockley Park. You're correct. One for Hunter.
Ooh, baby.
You're on fire. We've got a few more minutes left in this podcast, Hunter. You got to hold on a little bit. Cool. So you're feeling a little, I guess we could say, nervy.
Slightly apprehensive.
Okay. I I always get a little nervous about Wolves, not for any reason other than my brother's a Wolves fan. So this is like the sibling derby. And I think it's been a while since Wolves beat us. And not that my brother would ever like rub it in my face, but it's just nice to, you know, win. That's my official stance on that. It's just nice to win. So I wanted to, I guess, have bragging rights, even though I don't really brag.
How do you handle it?
Handle bragging?
No, if Arsenal beat Wolves and you're watching with your brother or corresponding with him.
Oh, okay. So that happened today. And every single time that Arsenal scored, I went, yes. Sorry, Dustin. Just an immediate apology right after we scored. And Dustin was like, I thought we would lose 10-0. So
How did he respond when Wolves scored their goal?
how did he respond? Kind of, he said that it was terrible passing by us, which,
Well, not
I
wrong.
mean, he's not wrong there. And then he kind of just was, I think it was like too little too late. But then he started complaining about how long we were taking to do things and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I don't know. Let's work our way through the match. My brother said it would be a win if Wolves didn't give up a goal within the first 10 minutes. They gave up a goal in the 7th minute, 8th minute. And this was a goal by Saka. You know, Saka's just great. He's just
Love that
great.
guy.
I just love him. Every single time that I think that he has some kind of weakness in his game, he just proves me wrong. Not that he's listening to this podcast or reading or watching anything that I do, but every single time I'm like, oh, he's a little one-footed. He gets better at it.
What if he considered you his biggest hater?
If I'm his biggest hater, then I think he's in a very good position because I can't think of anything bad that he's done. But if he did consider me his biggest hater, congrats on getting better.
To Bukayo Saka, a
Yeah,
message from your biggest hater.
congrats on
Congratulations.
getting better. Yeah, I mean it's just a good goal. That's It was a good goal by a good guy.
That's a great review.
Yeah, just a good goal by a good guy.
I like his new heel clicky celebration.
I do too. It's a lot of fun to draw. It's just a very simple little heel click. And then he's been doing this like little. He did another kind of little celebration on his. Did you notice, actually, backtracking a bit, that some people wear gloves, but he was wearing gloves that have traction on his palms.
Does he ever do throw ins?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, at first I was like, why does he do that? And I was like, well, I guess he's a right winger. Maybe he does some throw-ins, but I don't think that he does.
What if he finds the water bottles hard to hold in the cold?
That could be. Or it's a secret advantage because he can kind of hold on. Like if a defender comes to him, he can kind of use that traction as an advantage of some sort.
Interesting.
But I noticed weird things in matches, and I think he was the only one that had that situation going on
The grippy gloves?
with the grippy gloves, which is a bit confusing because I don't think he's in a position where he's throwing the ball much.
He's a New Balance guy, right?
He is, yeah.
Yeah, he's in those commercials. What if they just have all purpose gloves for like
Like for
baseball,
baseball,
football,
for all the big sports,
and they're just like, hey, here you go.
you got to advertise this.
We don't have other types of gloves,
We
but you are
only have.
sponsored by us. So you have to wear baseball gloves.
That would be the most logical explanation because I don't remember him doing a throw in unless it was a quick throw in.
Which Arsenal player do you think would be best at baseball?
At baseball. William Saliba has like a kind of like a cleanup hitter kind of vibe.
He's large.
He's large, confident, uh, kind of intimidating.
It's mostly a hand-eye coordination game, and there's very little
Right.
test
So I
of
think
that.
going off of that, we know for certain that Matt Turner was actually very good
Sure.
because there was a video of him hitting some home runs at the Cardinals stadium. So using that as our baseline, I would assume that Raya or Ramsdale would be pretty good at hitting a baseball.
Okay, great. Asked
Do
and answered.
you argue differently?
Do I have an opinion?
Yeah,
No.
in general. Okay, cool.
Uh,
So
Tamiyasu.
uh,
He takes throw-ins, and he's the only player from a place where they probably play baseball as children.
yeah, it's a good point. But if any one of the players that we have was obsessed with cricket at any point, they probably could figure out how to hit a baseball.
You'd think.
You think, but you don't
To
know.
figure it out,
We got to get them
watch the
all.
John Hamm movie, $1 million Arm.
So Saka scored, and then like probably 5 minutes later, we scored another. This was a very pretty goal.
Oh, it was beautiful.
It was one of those goals where you're like, hang it in the Louvre, if that's how you pronounce it. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I'm panicking because it could be Louvre.
It's
And now
not.
that I said it, it's definitely Louvre. It's one of those goals that when they jokingly say hang it in that place,
Wow, you've really psyched yourself out on this
I,
one.
yeah, I really have. I am in my head, and I don't want to say another French word ever again.
Just pick a new art museum. There's other art museums.
Hanging in the Philadelphia Museum of Art.
There you
That's
go.
a mouthful. It was a nice one touch passing, nice little finding of Odegaard in the middle.
Absolutely. It was beautiful ball movement. The give and go with Zinchenko and Jesus. Beautiful.
I thought,
Jesus was great on Saka's goal too.
yeah, I thought he had a very, very good game. He's a very silky boy.
It's just what helps us play in tight spaces, and we do miss that
Yeah,
when he's out. You know,
yeah. I like Eddie for what he brings, but I think he's missing a big part of what Jesus brings. But I also think that he might be the only person that can do exactly what he does to the degree that he does it. And then after that, I'll be honest, my dad bought a new Apple Watch and asked me if I wanted the old one. And I felt confident enough about Arsenal being in the lead that I spent the next probably hour setting up this old Apple Watch. And it was a little complicated because my dad's password, I guess, was locked on there, and he was trying to figure out his old password to unlock the Apple Watch, but then accidentally locked him out of his own account. So then I had to figure out how to reset his Apple ID, and it took about an hour. And then by the time that I was paying attention again fully, they scored. So that that is my interpretation of the match. Do you have a different interpretation during that time period?
a different one.
Yeah, just
Yes,
a
I
different
had
one.
no Apple Watch related feelings about this game.
Okay, cool. Cool. So you can guide us through what happened after
Oh,
after that moment.
well, I wouldn't go that far.
Okay.
This is what people listen to this podcast for.
Yeah. This
It's
is the ADHD of Arsenal podcasts.
you're listening to two fools talk about the game. And so when we give our opinions, you're hearing the wisdom of fools.
Yes.
But
Yeah?
when you hear our little japes and jests, that's the job of a fool.
Did you say shapes and
I
jests?
said japes and
Oh,
jests.
okay. Yeah, that makes more sense.
Well,
Shapes,
for
I was like, you're
you.
holding up an octagon.
Well, you're all about shapes.
That's true. A large part of this podcast is shapes because it's hand drawn animated podcast. And I realized that I'm probably gonna have to add an Apple Watch to my hand for this, but
You might want to,
quality assurance has never been my best attribute. So
if you give yourself the Apple Watch, go ahead and give yourself a chair.
that's true. I've been standing for for weeks and weeks and
Give yourself
weeks.
a break.
I keep meaning to put myself in a chair, but funds are tight. I can't afford another chair. But I, again, not to bring it back to last week, I am redoing my desk, and some of the pieces are coming this week, which is exciting. So
Ooh.
yeah, I'm gonna have a shelf where I can put things in.
Okay.
We got
So
a little distracted.
when did you start Apple watching?
Pretty much immediately after the goal. Well, let me make
Okay.
sure of that.
From
Let
about the
me make.
10th minute?
It was a little bit later than that. I thought we scored in the 13th. No,
Okay,
yeah.
15, let's say 15th minute.
Oh wait, no. I remember the keeper having a problem. I remember him subbing off, so I must have zoned out around 20 minutes in.
Yeah, that goal was so good that it hurt Jose Sa.
Yes, and he said, "I don't want to be on the field anymore."
I can't do this. Those goals were
And I
too
was
good.
surprised. And with the way that we were having pressure, I vaguely remember this for a bit afterward. I thought the backup was going to be like, hey, this is crazy, but my back hurts too.
There's got to be another guy that's got gloves. Get him
Yeah,
in there.
just anybody, just any old person with gloves.
See if someone will borrow. See if Saka will let you borrow his sticky gloves.
Okay, so around then is when I zoned out, which is around 20, 25 minutes.
Okay. Martinelli hit the post,
Don't remember that.
35th minute or so.
Okay.
There was one where Jesus kind of shot it over from the back post off Gabriel, but that was offsides. So there was good pressure for a while, and then they kind of lagged off up until halftime.
Okay.
It's natural. You score two goals, you get tired.
Yeah. And I would say that there was a period of time, or just when we're around 2 minutes. Sorry, I'm
Jacob is holding his cat like a baby.
yes, and she's slowly moving towards the microphone, just kind of reaching a paw towards it.
She desperately wants to be on the podcast.
Do you have something to say, Velmy? Do you want to say something into the microphone? That's a no. She just wants to sniff
Yeah,
it.
she's shy.
Oh, there you go. There's your food. Okay. Anyway, we seem to be in a position where after we score 2 goals, we're like, hey, job's done. Let's go home. But side effect to that, we still have like 70 ish minutes to play.
I wouldn't go that far. I think it's just they were still getting pressure and they were still getting chances. They just weren't quite in. It was a lot of crossbar, just
Yeah.
over kind of stuff. Saka had one from range that kind of dipped in a way that made you think it was going to go in. This is in the second half now. Trossard had a really good chance. I can't remember if the one
Oh,
where
yeah.
he like towed it down and then
I
couldn't
think it
quite get
was
his
in,
footing. I don't remember if that was first or second half.
I think it was first half. I think Saw was the one that
Yeah,
blocked that
you're right.
one.
You're right. That one would have been really cool.
Saliba got booked for the first time in 400 days.
Seemed a little soft to me, but it's fine. I'm not gonna lose my mind over it.
No. And then Wolves scored, but some kind of not great passing in the back. And then this guy just, it's one of those like, I'm frustrated. I'm just going to shoot the ball and end up in the net kind of goals. And then Eddie hit the post, which he probably should have done a little bit better there, but I'm not him. So,
Oh, Carlos Cuesta got a
yeah.
yellow card.
Oh, he's the one that got a yellow card.
It wasn't Arteta.
Okay.
It was the coach whose job it is to be everybody's friend.
And he was not the ref's friend today.
No, no. Well, sometimes you got to go to bat for your friends.
Yeah. Arteta was losing it by the end of the match.
Well, that was off. I think that was right after. Oh no, it wasn't. I thought it was after the perspective Jesus VAR incident where he was going for a header and the Wolves
Yeah.
player was holding his hand.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't that. It was something else that did it. But
If
I
you
just
were an
remembered.
assistant coach,
What's that?
if you were an assistant coach,
Yeah.
would you try to get yellow carded sometimes?
I am so afraid of authority that no, I would not.
Like, do they get fined for that?
I imagine so. Because
And they
it's
don't
kind of
get paid as much as
impressive.
players, so that's
It's a, yeah. And if an assistant coach is getting a yellow card, I well actually one I thought that if an assistant coach was gonna get a yellow that it went on the head that it went on the manager because he was supposed to technically be in control of his bench. But maybe I'm making that up.
I don't
I
think so.
thought that that was a summer rule, but maybe not.
Yover's gotten a yellow card before too.
Yeah.
I don't think
Um
Albert ever has.
no, I mean he's got his AirPods in, so yeah,
Not
he's
paying
too
attention.
distracted. But also it's kind of impressive for an assistant coach. And I don't even think he's the main assistant. I think he's just a coach. I think air I don't know the hierarchy, and I imagine they probably don't really have a hierarchy, but I think it's kind of impressive for an assistant coach to get a yellow card. You really have to be working to get the attention of the referee because when the referee is just going to glance over to the sideline, he's going to see the manager. You know, you have to be really doing something.
What if like the team doctor got a yellow card? He's
two
just
foot
mad.
tackles. 2 foot tackles the other player in response to his player getting injured.
Sprays the fourth official in the arm with the cold spray. Take this.
Right in the eyes.
That's a red card offense.
Yeah, that would be a red card. The 2 foot tackle would probably also be a red card. I think if I were a team doctor and I wanted to get a yellow card, I would run down to the home end. I think it's a clock end where they have those giant flags, and then just grab one of those flags and run across the field. You can't get arrested because you are supposed to be there. It's not like you're a streaker necessarily.
Huh.
I think that's how I would get a yellow card, but not get a red card as a team doctor.
I think that gets you a red card.
Really?
Running onto the field with a big flag to stop play?
Well, it would be after a goal. I would do it after a goal.
Oh, like too much
So
celebrating.
within context, yeah, leaning into the Arsenal celebrating too much. That's how I get a yellow card. How would you get a yellow card as a team doctor?
I'd probably spray something, whether it's cold spray or energy drink. Just get it on the official socks. Give them wet socks to run around in. You can't red card me for that, but you're not going to be happy with me. And
I
I'll
think
know I've won.
I think it depends on the day.
You think you could get full sent off for that?
I mean, yeah, I could see it. Like if a referee's like not wanting to be wet, which I imagine most referees probably don't want to be wet.
Yeah, they're like Mogwai.
Yeah, they're notorious for not wanting to be wet. And then yeah, I could see in the heat of a moment an overreaction. Now, can you appeal a team doctor's red card to the FA? This is I'm gonna you know what? I know we don't fact check a lot here. Can you appeal? I won't do team doctor because that's probably pretty specific. Staff yellow card to FA.
This is the
Oh,
kind of
so
work that you
you
could do.
can't do yellow card, so red card.
It'd be really bad to get red carded as the team doctor too, because if someone gets hurt, you've got the B team out there.
I think it's easier than you think it is. I think you could probably pretty easily get a a red card for that as a team doctor.
For getting someone's socks wet,
Oh, not for, I mean just in
just in
general.
general.
Yeah, in general.
I don't know. How many times has it happened, do you think?
That a team doctor gets a red card?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if a team doctor has ever gotten a red card
Well, then
team.
why'd you say it'd be easier than you think?
Because if a doctor wanted to get a red card, I think it would be rather easy for them to do. Oh, I forgot about this. It has happened. It happened to the Philadelphia Union, which is where we live. That is really funny. Oh, okay, and also in 2017, physios and doctors were sent off in the European Under 20 Championships. What did they do? Clear and clear a lack of respect for match officials, sarcastic clapping, and kicking of water bottles. All right.
People don't
Well,
like it when you kick a water bottle.
no, no. Well, it's possible. Our team doctor could get a red card, and we both come up with different ways to get yellow cards. I think yours is probably more along the lines of yellow card. I think if within context, if I time it just right, I could get away with a yellow card.
If you're off the field before play happens again,
Oh, it's just gonna be a yellow card. Yeah,
yeah, okay.
and I got to take the flag with me, kind of like a national park. Leave it as it is and take what you brought with you. That's not the phrase. That's not the phrase. National park. Leave no trace. Leave no trace. I would leave no trace. I would cause havoc, but leave no trace of my havoc.
It's just a conscientious thing to do.
Yeah, yeah. And then from there was some moments. Then I don't know if they ever really threatened. I don't know if we ever really threatened. And then the match was done. No team doctor sent off. No one sent off, in fact. And it was just kind of a good time overall, eventually.
I didn't feel that nervous at the end of that game.
I only did because of my brother. But besides that, yeah, no, I didn't feel. I felt like there was potentially a chance that they could equalize, but I didn't think we were going to lose ever. So, but yeah. Anywho, this has been the Poorly Animated Arsenal podcast. I'm Jacob. I'm your host, Poorly Drawn Arsenal. And with me, as always, is Hunter. Say hi, Hunter.
No, that's at the beginning.
That's at the beginning. Say bye, Hunter.
Bye, Hunter.
Hey, if you like two fools who wouldn't spend the time to look up stats about Arsenal players, but would download the appeal guidance form for wrongful dismissals, then you must like this podcast, because that's what we did on this podcast. You listened to it. By this point, you know what already happened. But hey, if that shingles your mingle, ugh. Give us
what to your what?
I don't know. Move on. Give us a 5-star rating on anywhere. That won't work on YouTube though. You have to give us a like and subscribe. And I am so bad at
Anywhere.
Just
Go to
anywhere.
your local deli. Tell them I got this 5-star podcast I really like.
Hold the mayo. But yeah, that's it. This is the farthest we've ever gotten to this song. I didn't even know there was a piano part of this. Okay. Anyway.
Beautiful piano.
Goodbye.
Bye.